Hello everyone, I'm the FC and this is Blue Lions TV, and today I'm bringing you guys a massive transfer daily video. Breaking news, Ross Barkley is going to become a Chelsea player today. Now, Ross Barkley has already completed his medical last evening and he will be signing for 15 million, and it could potentially rise to 20 million depending on whether Ross Barkley meets targets. Barkley will be earning between 80,000 to 100,000 per week, and he will be signing a 4-year contract. Earlier in Conte's press conference today, when he was asked in regards to Ross Barkley, he had this to say: "For sure, we are talking about an English player, a young player who has a good prospect for Chelsea. I think the club decided this investment for his contract. I think it is a good opportunity for the club to buy this player." Now, the first thing we notice is Conte immediately recognised the player as an investment. Ross Barkley is an investment player because he's young, he's English, an England international. 15 million, potentially rising to 20 million, which is probably not going to happen. Chelsea, by signing him, they could literally flip him for nearly double the money immediately. But then it was very coy for Conte to recognise Barkley as an investment player. Why? Because we do know that Conte is the first team coach. He has no real say in the type of targets he wants to bring in. The only say he has, as I've said numerous times, is that he can tell the club what type of player he wants to see. Now, this is definitely a Marina signing because this is going to make money and profit for the club. Barkley is definitely not a Conte signing. You guys have watched so many of my videos, you know what type of player Conte was looking at. Conte preferably really wanted to bring in Angel Di Maria to the club instead. Now, Chelsea have been looking into Barkley for a long time now. Emanalo's always been a big fan. They've done a lot of scouting reports on the player as well. So sometimes when we sign these players that we've already had previous history with, there's been a massive scouting report made on them. Now, that's everything in regards to Ross Barkley. Now, time to give my thoughts and opinions. Now, I know a lot of you guys have seen the thumbnails of this video. Extremely controversial, I do know that, but you guys know I'm a guy that has extremely high standards for my club. And obviously, this Ross Barkley signing, all it means to me currently at this moment in time is that Chelsea are more focused on profit over progress. And I think that's a real shame. Now, with Ross Barkley, this move is purely money orientated. It makes no sense from a footballing sense because the guy's been injured for 7 months. It's another case of signing another guy that hasn't kicked a ball, where you have to wait how many months or weeks for him to get back to match fitness, to even contribute anything to the team. We waited for Bakayoko to get back to fitness. It's taken him a while to even get used to things. Drinkwater was another one. Barkley's the same thing. What's he going to contribute? He's not going to be playing against Norwich tomorrow. He won't be playing for a few games. It doesn't add anything. It just adds an option to the squad but doesn't improve it. And I'm sick and tired of us not improving the team. Stop signing all these options that aren't adding anything. And all they do is just block the progress of high potential young players. Like only Chelsea can see Ruben Loftus-Cheek, one of the youth guys, got 2 England caps. Obviously on loan, being fantastic for Palace, but only a club like Chelsea will dismiss that and they won't credit anything. Now, of course, potentially I could be a bit short-sighted. I mean, there are going to be players leaving. Fabregas most likely will probably be leaving for next season. Maybe Ruben can come in, but the point is, if we do use a 3-man midfield or a 2-man midfield, there's only space for 11 players. People will say, oh, but Barkley doesn't necessarily affect Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but he does because he takes a place in the first 11. Ross Barkley does play, maybe he's more likely to be playing as part of a front 3 or as part of a 3-man midfield. It's just unnecessary competition. If anything, it might be cynical. I mean, I do understand from a business point of view, it would make sense. Is it crazy to think that Chelsea could potentially sell Barkley again in the summer? Who knows? But if anything, this signing really just says to you, Chelsea really aren't thinking about this season at all. They're not really caring. Yeah, if we do something in a cup competition, that's going to be nice. But there's no real ambition to try and really go for any trophies for this season. I don't even know when Barkley's going to play a part in the team. I wonder how Conte's going to use him. Of course, Conte doesn't even want the guy. Would he be forced by the club to use him? I don't think so, because the club don't interfere with who Conte picks in the team. But I can't see Barkley getting much game time for the second half of the season unless there's some injury problems available. Still, I do keep thinking about Ruben, unnecessary squad competition to find a place, and it's just like, why do all our high potential youth need to have the biggest struggle to get into the first team? And guys like Barkley, who have been kind of mediocre throughout their career, yeah, they've been They've had good patches of form in spells throughout multiple seasons, but never no consistent amazing season in their career just yet. Why does a Ruben have to constantly have unnecessary competition all the time? Now, in regards to Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I have been told that CWANless, the Lyon president, is very interested in him and he likes what he sees in Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and he's actually hoping to bring Ruben on loan to Lyon for next season. I think if that happens, that would be a fantastic move, because finally Ruben could actually play his box-to-box role. He's playing in a 4-3-3 team that really suits his style of play. He's got those attacking inside forwards and a striker that drops deep up front as well that could really help him as well. Plus, you have the license to run forward and contribute, and he's going to play in the Champions League as well. I'm really hoping that Lyon do manage to do something with that and take him on loan. I think it's best for Ruben to really take that adventure out to France and really make something happen. But if you were to ask my thoughts, but Nini, what do you really think of Ross Barkley? Are you happy with the signing? You know what, you guys, in a way, I'm really not starting to care as much anymore now. Again, it's more profit over progress. Of course, clubs are a business, but I don't know, it's a football club. You think the sport would be the #1 value thing over business. But we do know that the nature of football has definitely changed in the modern era. Of course, with this signing, there literally is no risk involved at all, because Chelsea will be making money on a guy regardless if he does well or doesn't. But I think it's a sad indictment that we don't necessarily care if a player performs well and we just focus on how much he can make for the club. But anyway, you guys, that's our second deal we've signed. Obviously, we signed Fiona Ballo, the 16-year-old Austrian wonder kid. Barkley is the main signing so far for the January transfer window. That's it, you guys. Ross Barkley is a Chelsea player. Moving on to the second story, and that's in regards to Andy Carroll links. Now, the story's going that Chelsea are looking to bring in Andy Carroll on loan for the second half of the season. When Conte was questioned about the Andy Carroll reports, instead of him denying it there and there, he was very coy, and really it was playing along to the fact that he has no real say. Now, this is what Conte said in the press conference. "I don't know, I give my opinion to the club, but the club then decides the players we can buy or sell." That was his answer, and really that says everything you need to know. As I keep saying all the time, and as I've said way before news has come out that Conte doesn't really have a say in transfers, you know, he is the first team coach. Conte does have a say in what type of player he wants to bring into the team, and Conte has always wanted a strong target man striker. Now, why does Conte want a target man striker? Conte wants that target man striker because he wants to have the option where in certain moments in games where you need to relieve pressure, where we're defending deep, we need to bypass the midfield by playing direct balls straight to a strong guy up front who can hold the ball, win balls in the air, and help us relieve pressure defensively. Now, the two players Conte did want was Llorente, who instead went to Tottenham, and Benteke. And with the Benteke deal, Benteke isn't coming out because Crystal Palace weren't able to bring in Tosin from Besiktas. He's instead gone to Everton, and now Crystal Palace won't be going in for another striker. Now, there was one report that Chelsea were looking to sign Carroll for 27 million and put him on a 3-year contract, which is ridiculous and isn't happening. That's a false report. But what isn't false is the type of targets we have been looking into to fulfill that target man role. Now, guys, you have to brace yourself, prepare yourself. You're not going to be necessarily happy with some of these targets. I'll tell you one of the craziest targets that Chelsea were looking into. And remember, looking into doesn't mean we're necessarily 100% buying them, but we're looking at players that fit the profile. Now, the first one was Peter Crouch from Stoke City. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either when I said it, and sometimes when I hear some of these reports, you know, sometimes I don't even mention them in videos because it sounds too incredible. But other target man strikers we have been looking into, other than Andy Carroll and Crouch, Slimani from Leicester, he could be a loan option for the second half of this season. Michael Antonio from West Ham as well. He hasn't been playing up front as much. We do know that he's very good in the air. Technically, he's very average. He has only scored 1 goal so far this season. And the other target is Moussa Dembele from Celtic, but the club feel that it costs too much money. Now, what Brendan Rodgers is proposing is that they could reduce the fee for Moussa Dembele moving to Chelsea, but Rodgers would like some Chelsea youngsters in return. But the issue is, none of the Chelsea youngsters want to move to Scotland or play for Celtic. But honestly, you know, it really is a case of no ambition FC, Brexit FC at this moment in time. Sometimes I don't understand, why do we need to go in for that specific type of striker? You know, sometimes some people say to me, oh, you know, why didn't Chelsea go in for a Gabriel Jesus, for example, and players of that caliber? Well, would he really suit in the system? Jesus is a guy that plays as a poacher, doesn't really link up the play as much, he gets on the end of things. Now with Chelsea strikers, we don't like to use them in that way. And I was making this point on the live stream with Lawrence and Eunice last night. If you haven't watched it, make sure you do. But I was saying that we kind of price ourselves out from getting different types of attacking players, because the way that we have to use our attacking players is so niche that we can only go for a certain caliber of player to fulfill that role. And honestly, I like to see us move away from that mentality entirely, because if that means we're linked with your Slamanis and your Andy Carrolls and your Michael Antonios, to me, for a club like Chelsea, that isn't good enough. We should have much higher ambitions and do much better. But anyway, you guys, that's going to bring an end to today's Transfer Daily video. Yes, Ross Barkley is a Chelsea player. In the comment section below, let me know your thoughts and opinions on Barkley. I'll be releasing another video later this week in regards to how we could actually use Barkley in the team. I'm going to try to be objective. Of course, you guys know I'm not impressed and I'm disappointed with this transfer. But again, if I was to disclose that stuff about Barkley in this video, it's going to go on for way too long. So expect to hear more on him later this week. And of course, press the bell notification button if you haven't, to stay tuned to more transfer news that will be happening this month. A lot of you guys aren't doing it, but people are listening. I've gone from 8% to 20%. Come on, let's try and get to 50% within this month. Anyway, you guys, I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Line CV. Signing out.